In today's video, I'm going to share my favorite high-protein foods for fat loss. Many of these foods I get every single week at the grocery store. They are staples in my diet, and some of the others are not. I don't particularly like them, but you may very much enjoy them. But before I get into the list of foods, make sure you grab my quick and easy lean muscle cookbook. It's in the first link of the description of this video because it's totally free and it's got over 20 pages of high protein but low calorie recipes that are going to be great for fat loss, and they taste amazing. I worked for months on this cookbook. I've literally got everything covered for you. I've got breakfasts, lunch, dinners, protein shake recipes, and more. Now, if you're watching this, you may already know why protein is so important for losing body fat, but if you aren't sure about that, here's the two main reasons why having a higher protein diet is so beneficial in a fat loss phase. So the first reason is that protein keeps you full longer than carbs and fats do. So you can actually eat a bit less food or the same amount of food, but stay full longer and not have the same hunger levels, which is going to be really beneficial in a fat loss phase. And the second reason is that protein plays a major role in building and maintaining muscle mass. So yes, you want to lose weight, but you want that weight lost to be pretty much just body fat, right? You don't want to lose muscle mass on the scale either. And unfortunately, a lot of people do. They lose muscle mass in a fat loss phase, and their physique doesn't actually look much better than when they first started. So now that you know why it's important, let's get into the list of foods that are really great protein sources in a fat loss phase. So number one is going to be chicken breast, and this is one of the best options when it comes to a lower calorie, higher protein meal because it's one of the leanest meats out there. You're going to get plenty of protein, usually only a few grams of fat. If you go with a different type of chicken, like chicken thigh or a chicken wing or something like that, it's going to be a little fattier. So there's going to be a little bit more calories in something like that as compared to a chicken breast. Number two, and one of my personal favorites, is ground turkey. And I really recommend, especially if you're in a fat loss phase, going with a 93% lean ground turkey as opposed to like 85% lean or 80% lean. And the reason for that is because those are going to have way more fats, a little bit less protein, and you're just going to be eating more calories. So you're not going to be as satiated as going with the 93% lean ground turkey. And I like this because not only do I like the way it tastes, but it's very versatile, just like chicken is. You can make it in many different ways. You can make a stir fry, you can make stuffed peppers, you can make, you can put it in like tacos or a burrito type thing. You can make it into a burger. It's a great option. Number three on the list for me is ground beef, and for all the same reasons that I just mentioned in ground turkey. It's very versatile. If you get 90% or 93% lean ground beef, that's always going to be the best way to go because it's going to save you a whole lot of calories than if you went with a fattier option, and it just tastes great. Number four, and a really underrated protein source in my opinion, is fish, and pretty much all fish. Salmon, cod, tilapia, shrimp is a great one, tuna. I don't love all of these options, but some of them I like very much. They taste great, and they've got a good amount of protein in there for the amount of calories that they are. And most of them have low to moderate amounts of fat, which make them a good option in a fat loss phase because they're not super high calorie meals. For number five, I've got Greek yogurt, and specifically the one that I like to go with is the Oikos Pro Greek yogurt because the macros on this particular yogurt are incredible. 20 grams of protein in this little cup, only 3 grams of fat and 8 grams of carbs. I personally like to add some frozen berries to it. It just tastes amazing and it's a really good snack option. Now, number six, I have another really good high protein snack option, which is cottage cheese. And I generally go for the non-fat cottage cheese or just a low-fat cottage cheese because they're lower in calories, but generally they have a little bit more protein. They sometimes come with fruit mixed in as well, like cottage cheese and pineapple has been a go-to for me for many years at this point. And it can be a really great snack option to keep you full that tastes pretty good and, isn't going to cost you a whole lot of calories. Now, number seven on the list here is a real game changer, and I put here liquid egg whites. So they sell them in this grocery store in a carton, and you basically pour it out into your pan and they cook up incredibly quickly, and they are just straight protein. There's no carbs, there's no fats, and the way I use these are just as an extra add-on to my breakfast meal. So I'll have my normal eggs, I'll have my toast or whatever else I'm eating, and I'll add 4 or 5 servings of these egg whites to my meal for an extra 20 or 30 grams of protein, and it really is a game changer. Number 8 on the list, I've got regular whole eggs. And I love eggs. They've got a lot of vitamins in there, minerals, nutrients, like they're very nutrient dense, and they're not bad for you. A lot of people think that because they have dietary cholesterol in them, that you can't eat too much of them or that that's going to raise your cholesterol. There's a difference between dietary cholesterol that's in foods and blood cholesterol that's in your body. And there's plenty and plenty of research now for decades that shows that eating dietary cholesterol doesn't in fact raise your blood cholesterol. So you can absolutely have 2 or 3 eggs and be totally fine. And one thing to keep in mind with whole eggs is that while they do have about 6 grams of protein per egg, they also have about 5 grams of fat. So it's almost even in regards to being a protein source and a fat source. So just know that if you're eating multiple of them, that you're also going to be racking up a good amount of fats as well. Number 9 on the list is protein powder, and you absolutely have to get the right protein powder because there's so many options and brands out there, and many of them have plenty of carbs and fats in there, and they try to sell it to you as if it's a meal replacement instead, so it's okay to have carbs and fats in there, when in my opinion, a protein shake or a protein powder should really just mainly be protein. I want less than 5 grams of carbs and less than 5 grams of fats in my protein powder per serving, and I want over 20 grams of protein, because if I'm gonna drink carbs and fats, I'd much rather eat those in my meals. Those taste really good. I might as well eat the carbs and fats, right? So the point of a protein powder is to be a really convenient and quick way to get in an extra 20 or 40 grams of protein in the day without having to cook something or without having to meal prep or having to, buy food out, and still be able to stay relatively full. And I still get a lot of questions from people who are asking if protein powder is a good option if they want to lose weight. They think it might still make them bulky if they drink a protein shake. When the truth is, what makes you bulky is eating too many calories, right? Not being in a calorie deficit. And protein powder, say 1 scoop of protein powder, is generally between 100 and 130 calories if you're following my recommendations of having 20 or 25 grams of protein and under 5 grams of carbs and fats in a scoop. That is one of the lowest calorie snack options you will be able to find on Earth, right? That is an incredibly low calorie snack that's going to give you plenty of protein and keep you full. So I would make the argument that it is more advantageous for someone in a fat loss phase than anybody else. Now that completes my list of the top 9 protein sources. I've got a couple honorable mentions in there. So the first one is going to be steak, and the second one is going to be pork. These can absolutely be solid protein sources. Just like with the other meats though, it's going to be in your best interest to go for leaner cuts of meat that are less fatty so that you're saving some calories and getting a little bit more protein. And if you're someone who's vegan and you don't eat animal products, I've got 3 solid options for you as well. So the first one is going to be tofu, which is, has a good amount of protein in there. It does have some carbs and fats as well, but that's one of the best options in regards to a vegan diet. A second option is going to be chickpeas, which again is actually mainly carbs, but you are going to accumulate some protein along with it. And number 3 is beans or lentils, right? These are a great option. They're high in fiber. They do have plenty of carbs as well. They're, primarily a carb source, but you are going to get some protein from that as well. And those are going to be 3 really solid options if you are vegan to accumulate some protein. But that's going to wrap up the video, man. I really hope you found this helpful. And if you did, consider subscribing to my channel because I make new videos just like this every single week and you don't want to miss them. And if you did get value from it, go ahead, give me a thumbs up on this video or comment down below which of these protein sources you've tried or you also get, in your weekly grocery list. And I'd love to hear from you. But other than that, I will see you on the next video.